Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my sinking funds closeout and my savings tracker closeout. So I have about 16 sinking funds here, and we were rearranging and adjusting things. I am closing out 2 sinking funds, and then I am going to show you where I moved all the money around. I think I've already showed this in the sinking funds setup, where the money went, and then we're going to balance the rest because I had 2 transactions that came out other than the money moves that I did on paper and not actually moved in the account. I have 1 savings account for this, and that's fine. So it's just a way of holding everything in one place and dispersing as needed when time comes. So what I'm doing here is just getting the total and closing things out. So I have the ending balance. That's going to be my new beginning balance for the new month. If you're new to sinking funds, it's a very simple concept. You just sink money into a place, whether it's a savings account or whether it's a separate checking account or whether you have a cash envelope. It doesn't matter where the money is, as long as you have it in a safe place that builds up over time a little bit, either every week, every month, however you get paid, and what's comfortable for your ability to put it aside and achieve a goal that is either in the future, annually, quarterly, or something that's coming up in the future, and you can come up with a way of saving up a little bit over time to match the date that you need the money for. Then yeah, that is what a sinking fund is, simply preparing for the future. And I absolutely love sinking funds. It has saved me so much time and energy in keeping me on track on what I have as annual and quarterly expenses. So I love doing this. I average $350 to $450 monthly, and that goes into this savings account depending on what my needs are and what line items we have and what's important to our priorities. So let's go ahead and get into what we have. I'm going to grab my calculator here and move this over, and we're going to start at the top. So Amazon Prime is our Amazon annual Prime subscription, and we get taxed for that, so it's $139 plus the tax. And I adjusted the deposit amount to match what we needed exactly for the ending balance to be 0. So that's what came out. I paid the credit card with that. I think it was on week 3 and of my weekly check-in, and that was taken care of. This comes out much later, end of the year. So we have $49.52, and we're going to add $6.19. Now I like exact numbers. Not everybody does. Some of you may put $6. Somebody may put $6.20. Somebody may put $7 or $6.50 or something like that. They might round it because they don't like change or they don't like odd numbers. I like to the penny as much as possible, and that's what I do. That's why some of my endings have always been 0, and then I start new the next month, is because that's just how I prefer the accounting to be. Now, some things are already rounded up, and I don't have to worry about it. Much of it is. Xander identity theft, 121 plus 12, and that's 133. I think that's due in October, and we're good to go there. Norton is my husband's laptop protection, and that's $37.10 is what I have so far. $5.30 is what I put in this month, and that was $42.40 I have now. All right, Canva, that's $50. It's only $10 a month for me. Epidemic Sound, so I'm not going to be using the music from Epidemic Sound going into October. I mean, I might, but I don't think so. I had to get rid of this. So I took the cash that was in Epidemic Sound, subtracted it out of this, and made it 0. And then I moved it in part into Orkin Wasp. That was a spray that we had done for our house. It's a new maintenance thing that I have to do because we just have so many wasps and places for them to get into, crevices and stuff like that. So we're working on that. So that's going to be a continuing thing. If we can figure a way to keep them from getting in those crevices, then it'd be nice. but I don't know how possible that's going to be. So there's that. That was $0. We do use DoorDash to deliver food and pizza and stuff like that. So $32 plus the 16. I'm trying to get enough, almost 100. I think it was like $96, $98 last year. So I don't know what's going to be this year, but if I can get as close to it as possible what I paid last year, and then I'll make up the difference later. We'll renew that later. Home maintenance, I always put $50 away, so we have $108 now and 82 cents. My handwriting's horrible on the coil here. And then Orkin Home is always $52. Go. This was a new line item. It was negative because I paid for it last month out of the sinking funds, and then I had to move money around. The other place I moved money from was here in tax prep. I moved money from tax prep to Orkin WASP, and that completed the $249. So that's what that's there for, and there's $0. Now this next thing I have is propane, and we have $200, and we are doing $220. So next month, October, is $240. We're going to let it sit there. We have a good amount, say 65-75%. Our tank is still full as far as propane for our fireplace. We have it delivered, and there's a tank outside. And if you didn't know, we live in Kentucky, and it's a little bit rural where we're at. And so we live in the county. And yeah, we have a propane fireplace, and that's what we use. We do have electric heat, but to keep the cost down, you can use propane as well. And it's nice to have a fireplace. It's a beautiful fireplace. I love it. So trash, $30, $30. That's going to have to go up. So that's $60 because it was over $100. And we had a new contractor take over our trash, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It went up 20. It's usually like 80. Less than $90. It averaged just under $90. Now it's $110. So it went up quite a bit. I'm going to put, let's see here, I had an oil change and some maintenance done on my vehicle. $166.16 plus the $50 I normally put here minus the $156.73, and that leaves us $59.43 in car maintenance. Taxes and tags, this is for our vehicles. We have older vehicles, so we don't pay as much in taxes and tags like a brand new car, so we only have to put $16 away. $71.10 is what we have, and that's $87.10, and that's usually in July, June or July, when we have to pay those. Again, there's tax prep, we close that out, and then gifts, we're at $431.59. This is Christmas and birthday. Not me and my husband's birthday. My son's birthdays, and which are adult sons that still live at home with us. And then Christmas for all 4 of us. So that's what that money is. So next we have high yield savings. We did not make, we actually lost, I don't know if we lost a little bit, but we moved from one investment firm to another. And that put a wrench in things for September, so that we didn't keep $60.40. I had to reduce it to what it matched at the new place, and then next month we'll see how it grew a little bit different. So it was a different high yield savings, and so we had to move things around. And our Roth IRAs went with that company as well. So, but we're on track to be fully funded for this year, even though we switched companies. It wasn't the company, it was the person managing our account, our financial advisor. He's a good friend of ours, and we've known him for many, many years. He moved companies, so we moved with him, and that's what happened there. So anyway, that is our sinking funds and savings tracker. Let's get the totals and see what happened and how much we have left over. Okay, so it looks like we subtract $556.41. And I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. We started with $1,251.45. We added $653. 556.01 and we subtracted 556.41. Okay, so that says $1,348.05. Let me check my account. It looks like I might have calculated something wrong. It's $81.50 off compared to my bank account. I'm not sure what that's about. So I'm going to run through these again, and then I'm going to total these up and see if they match instead of doing it across, and see if I did something wrong. I'll be right back. So this looks like this number's right. Let me total this back up again. That number's right. All right, let's go down. All right, so these numbers and these numbers match. Maybe I moved over too much money from my checking account. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it like this because I know these numbers are right. And I may have just moved too much money over. Because I didn't move over, let's see. I'm going to take the 653.01. I'm going to subtract the 249. Oops. Because that came from these two funds. And I only had to deposit this much, but I didn't actually make that deposit because I kept the cash for this transaction and this transaction in my checking account and didn't move it over. So if I subtract the 150.68 and I subtract the 156.73, that's the amount I moved over, but yet I'm $81.50 over. I'm not sure how that happened. So I'm just going to start with this, and when I go into October and I set up my October, if I figure it out, I will put in October's numbers and maybe adjust some of these and fix the problem that way. Somehow, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I didn't gain any interest on that account because it's not over $2,500. I hope to get the account to that point so I can gain interest on it, but I have not. So that's okay. Right now, I'm just happy that it's more and not less, and I will have to figure out that accounting somehow, some way, another way. Not a problem. But my high yield savings, where we left off, that's where it was at the end for this month, and we'll make the adjustments going forward into the new month with the new account. So I'm excited about that. But that is my sinking funds and savings tracker thus far. Even though there's a mistake, it's in my favor, and I just got to figure out where it came from. But I won't do that on camera. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing, blessed day. Bye.